Good morning and welcome to the first episode of Pimpin' with Jimbo, a podcast centered around speedrunners and players who have accomplished very difficult feats and challenges. Today we have our first guest, Alyssa, or RSgf. Welcome on this very early, very early Wednesday morning. And so thank you for taking the time today to sit down and have a chat.
Thank you.
Um, yeah. So there's always like that awkward pause. You're like, do I wait for the person to say something or do I just kind of dive in? Um, so just like a few kind of very easy questions. So when did you first start playing old school RuneScape? And I have a follow up question to that because I'm kind of curious what your answer is.
I started playing after mobile was released.
Oh, okay. That was in 2018? No. Yes.
So, about November 2018.
Okay. Okay. Right on. Yeah. No, that's I think I remember like seeing a video on like Instagram, and like an ad pop up and I was like, "Huh. It's kind of cool."
Yeah, it was being
Yeah.
advertised everywhere.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. I remember there was like a lot of excitement about that time. It was like man, I think like Chambers, like I remember I'd watched like a chemistry video or something like that and I was like, "Oh man, it sounds kind of dope." So you
I
wait, so
just
you never played before?
no, I just jumped right into it. I didn't look into it very much before I started playing.
Okay, okay, so you started in mobile. That's interesting. I don't feel like a lot of people like they've played for like, 10 plus years or like are veterans in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did the tutorial on Miniclip,
Oh my god.
but I
Mini
couldn't
clip.
get past it at the time, so I stopped playing.
No.
I stopped playing RuneScape.
What was your brick wall? Was it like making
I'm pretty
a
sure. I'm like 95% sure that I could not get into the gate to kill the rats
no
because it's in
way.
that fenced off area. Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure from my memory that that's what stopped me from playing RuneScape on Miniclip.
Honestly respectable. Yeah. I think I played in like '05 or something for like a few weeks with like one of my buddies that I lived with. And yeah, it was super fun and here I am 15 years later playing the same game.
15 years.
But like, there was obviously a huge stretch where I didn't play.
Hmm.
Like I played old school until like the EOC came out, so basically when like RS3 created. And then I didn't play until really about like 2 years ago. So yeah,
I
it
feel like that's
was
the same for quite a bit of people in the community.
yeah, cause like life happens, you start playing other games and stuff like that, and you're just like, kind of good.
Hmm.
So since you started kind of, I guess what we would call maybe historically late. What did you play? I guess outside of that, or like growing up, or did you always
uh,
enjoy like role playing games, or what is this, an MMORPG? Or no, wait, that's Curtis. Oh my God.
this
Um,
is
MM
MMOSRS.
whatever the hell OSRS is.
My mom has always been a gamer, so grew up playing just random PlayStation games like
Yeah.
Spyro, Crash
Oh,
Bandicoot.
that game slapped. I'm definitely a fan.
um, let's see. All the Oddworld games on Xbox.
Okay, okay.
And then she actually got me to play my first MMO when I was like 6.
That's nuts.
And because she played Maple Story. That's why like I never really got into RuneScape because she was a
Hmm.
Maple Story player. So my brother and I all played Maple Story together.
I remember that being very popular back around the same time where like RuneScape was popular.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that was around the time the beta was out. That's what we played.
Okay, okay.
And then like probably from 10 to 17, 10 to 16 was Call of Duty on Xbox 360.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Were
yeah.
you were you like a man? Were you what, like Modern Warfare 2 was probably out then, right? No.
MW2, 3, and
MW2.
Black Ops 2.
Oh my god. Yeah, I think I started playing. Actually, it's kind of a funny story. But I became best friends with my best friend in high school because when I was a freshman, he was like one of my only friends with like Black Ops. And so I went over to
Mhm.
his house on like a play date when I was a freshman, and I was like, "Yo, let's play." And then we just never looked back from that. But yeah, um, awesome. So certainly have like the gaming culture, started young. That's awesome. Because I remember you had like a stream with your mom one time. That was
Mhm.
awesome. I remember I was like, I don't know who she is, but she's funny. Um, yeah. So okay, I want to sort of ask about your PVM experience in old school because you started on mobile, right? So what did
Mhm.
you do when you started on mobile? When did you say, you know what, I'm just gonna hop to the PC,
Oh, it
and
did not
then
take long.
did not? Don't blame you.
No,
My
I absolutely hated mobile.
Did your phone get hot? I feel like my phone would get super hot. I have like a really old iPhone, and
Yeah,
like,
I had an old phone at the time. I don't
mm,
remember it getting hot, but I just remember it being like impossible to do things.
yeah,
Even with no experience in the game, I was like, I can't click anywhere. Like,
I would
I'm
like try
running.
to fish something, and it just wouldn't fish, and I'd be like, well, dude, I can't win. I'm clicking on something that's not moving. So, yeah, I
Yeah,
tried to
you
not
click
play
on
on
like one
mobile.
spot. You're just trying to chop a tree down. You're zooming off into Narnia. You
Yeah.
find yourself in like the wilderness somehow. I don't know.
Have you ever like right clicked and followed someone in game and then gone AFK for like 20, 30 seconds and come back and they've like teleported and you're like now you have no
You're just
idea where you
sprinting.
are. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's crazy. Okay, so what was like the first? I guess since your time in RuneScape has been the last few years. What was like your first? What is like the first PVM experience that you remember?
Um, KBD.
Okay, KBD.
Yeah, cause I didn't. I rushed endgame,
Mm-hmm.
so I didn't really experience most of. No, my first PVM experience. You know what it was?
Mm.
It was Obor.
No way.
Yeah, because I was killing giants in Edgeville Dungeon.
Mm-hmm. Respect, by the way.
Yeah, I was just because you know how it is starting out RuneScape. No
Oh, of
matter
course.
how long you've been playing, you have like 30 tabs open trying to figure out
Of
what to do
course.
first. So I was killing giants down there, and it dropped a giant key. So I researched it for I think like an hour trying to figure out how to kill him.
You know when like RuneLite when the RuneLite came out with like that wiki feature where it's like you can like left click the wiki and then like left click the item that you want to look up.
Yeah, I never figured out how to do that. Chat was trying to tell me for the longest time, but I think they gave up.
It's so awesome. But yeah, no, that was like the first thing that came to mind because when I started playing in Iron, I had no idea what I was doing. Because like no Grand Exchange. None of my friends really played Iron except for my friend Bryce, and I was like,
Mhm.
hey, I need to look stuff up. So that's funny though. So Obor, okay, okay. Did you get the club or no?
No, still haven't gotten the club. Like
looks like
2KC, come on.
looks like we need to go back and get that at some point. Got to
Yeah.
conquer the first PVM experience. I was I think when I first met Uncle
Mhm.
like about a year ago, maybe a little bit over a year ago. We were talking about you because I had followed you, and I think this is around the time you were doing your solo top, or you were starting to do your solo top. I could be wrong, um, because I think you completed in like the fall or winter of last year.
It was May, I think, of last
May
year.
of last year.
Mhm.
Yeah, time flies during COVID.
Time is it's so fast.
Yeah, he was telling me that like him and M16 and I think somebody else took you on your first top, and he was like, dude, she's gotten like it's crazy because we were so much better, and then within like 2 weeks, you were like you were putting in the work, and you were getting way better. That was kind of a cool thing to learn, and it's kind of cool because it just shows how interconnected I think community is, right? Like, for example,
Mhm.
whoever you know and whoever I may know, right? There's probably a lot of mutual links between us that we don't know. Um, but yeah,
Yeah,
that's go ahead.
it's pretty wild. I mean, you can pop into most streams in the OSRS category, and you'll see people who frequent your chat, your friend's
Mm-hmm.
chat, someone else's mod that you know. So it's really cool.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So, so you started out killing Oat War, and
Hmm.
then I assume you eventually made your way to Chambers, and obviously we know you made your way to Top. Um, when did you decide to first, transition that into streaming? And tell us about, kind of that experience, and especially as a female, right?
Yeah.
In a game in a game that is, I think statistically dominated by males. Tell us about that experience, and what kind of challenges you faced.
I started streaming 6 months after I started playing RuneScape.
Okay, so that would have
I
been
just
like
Yeah, it
2019.
was
Yeah. Okay.
2019. It was, I think, July 2019 was when I started streaming.
Okay.
Um, it was a very shocking experience at the start, I'd say.
Mhm.
Because I was just learning, I was maybe 100 raids KC.
Mhm.
Less than that. It was probably like 50. I was doing trio raids on stream with Ancient Jihai chaps, a fighter torso, inventory tags, and full screen OSRS.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Full screen gamers.
Yes. Um, I'd say as a woman, uh,
Yeah.
when you're a smaller streamer, it's a lot hard. Not to say that I'm a big streamer now, but I've definitely been around a
Mhm.
while now. It's more. I'd say it's a bit more difficult being smaller because you have to, sure, you still have to deal with people now because you'll always have the weird champs, the poggos.
Yep. Oh,
Oh yeah, but now I have a community
agreed.
to be like, hey, that person's weird, like get out of here.
Right.
Before, you have to build that community. So while you're building your community and making those like the footholds, you also have to like fight off these people who are awful.
Yeah,
So
agreed.
starting,
Like
yeah.
this is like the basic amount of harassment, right? Like I feel like people who have those kind of characteristics are enabled in maybe like low trafficked chats, right, and
They
things like
really
that.
are.
Yeah.
I had so many odd people when I first started streaming. I had someone come in, got offended that I jokingly banned him, and then sent a
Yeah.
chat bot to spam like racist stuff in my chat.
Yeah. And like that stuff's super cringe, right? Because at the end of the
Hmm.
day, it's like we're all doing this. Some of us, most of us play this for fun. Some of us
Yeah,
certainly play this as a job and like treat it as such. But in either of those scenarios, right, like in being racist, being a weird chant, you know, being someone that's super negative, that's not something that's attractive in terms of
yeah. I mean,
energy.
at the end of the day, we're all playing old school RuneScape together.
Yeah.
Like that troll is hanging out in the RuneScape category because
Yeah.
they can't get away from the game like the rest of us.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I mean, I can certainly, there's a lot of respect and admiration for not only people who build that community, like you were mentioning, right, but also being able to then sort of transcend that community, right, and then grow as a channel, right, and
Hmm.
eventually become partner, which is not an easy feat to
Yeah,
to accomplish.
I'd say it definitely helped me grow as a person too, because when you first get that kind of just very stressful harassment situation,
Yeah,
and these
yeah,
people like that, I mean, I'd say a lot of people who play OSRS have. I was talking about this yesterday on stream.
hmm,
I'd say that most people, or at least a lot, have social anxiety or have experienced social anxiety. So streaming is a big step. So
yeah,
it really helped me grow as a person seeing how kind the community is and also seeing how terrible some people can be and learning how to deal with that.
Yeah, I think you know, it's crazy because maybe like, man, I want to say like 3 years ago, I would not have said this, but I think one, I've probably met some of my best friends right through the game. Yeah,
Mhm.
people that I talk to every day. But you know what's crazy is like when you try to explain that to like somebody else who's like not part of that community, you're like, listen, I don't even know what this person looks like, but I don't need to, right? Because like I've known them for like 3 years, and I remember, late nights laughing my ass off, right? Like dying at Tob with like French fry fingers, not being able to freeze anything because I just had like a bowl of French. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, no, I
um, yeah, yeah,
to the non-gamer, it's always been a weird thing being friends with people online.
yeah,
But
definitely.
to me, I guess through my life, since I didn't have a phone growing up, I wasn't able to go out a lot. So
Hmm.
my friends were on Xbox, my friends were on Maple Story, my friends were on RuneScape now.
Hmm.
So
Well,
I'd
yeah,
say that.
cause yeah, and I feel like I don't know how it was for you, but I grew up in like in a pretty strict Asian household, so it was like
Mhm.
very. It was not, hmm, going out in terms of like hanging out with friends wasn't something that was like afforded to us and stuff like that. You kind
Yeah,
of had to grow into
my
it.
mom my mom has always been the nicest lady in the world. A lot of people have talked to
Mhm.
her on stream, but my dad was very strict.
Yep,
So,
yep.
yeah, going out was
Not a thing.
no.
I remember when like even when I was like a senior in high school, like the pinnacle, of my life at the time. I remember like my dad was always like, "You need to be home at like 9." I'm like, dude, I don't even know what I'm doing at like 8:30, and you want me to be home by 9. So yeah, I certainly experienced that. That's
Mhm.
kind of awesome though. But yeah, I know like when it comes to like streaming particularly, right? It's awesome to see like people's personalities when they stream. Like I'm not gonna name any names because I don't want to like sound like I'm it's not really targeting, but it's awesome to see people be more extroverted, right?
Yeah.
In on stream because it's them, it's like their presentation of the game, and when that same person hops in a voice call, right? They're kind of just not saying recluse, but they're reclined, right? They're so just like this,
Yeah,
they're kind of timid. You know what I mean? Like it's
I know
different
what you mean.
personalities, and like I love to see that because I want to see every side of everyone that I meet, because even the good, even the bad sometimes.
That's that's why I enjoyed I used to do movie nights a lot in my Discord, and we do game nights now. We'll do movies every now and then, but it's very cool to see people from chat that you've never heard their voices before come up on
Hmm.
mic.
Yeah,
And yeah,
yeah,
it's cool to see because all you see from them is I used to have like a crisis every now and then streaming
of
because
course.
I used to stream so long. I
I
think I did
remember.
yeah, I
Yo,
did 2,000 hours my first year.
yeah, you are a certified crackhead, and that is a compliment. Definitely,
But
that's
y-
insane.
I used to have a crisis every now and then just looking at chat, and then I looked around myself and I realized that I hadn't heard someone else's voice in a long time. Like I was just sitting here talking to text.
Right, right.
But I mean, I got over that obviously, but uh it was really cool seeing that text turn into, oh, here's the person behind it.
Right,
Cuz
exactly.
it's a really cool opportunity. They don't have to get up on voice. They don't cuz they're chat, but they choose to, and it's very cool to have the opportunity to meet people
Yeah,
as they
like
are.
I'm trying to think. There's somebody whose name I can't remember, but like I've known them for probably as long as I've played the game, and I still
Mhm.
have zero idea what they sound like. And honestly, I'm okay with that because I don't need to. But yeah, no, I,
Yeah,
I think that that's cool to like associate like a voice to a person, right? And then excuse me, for those who stream, like being able to put a face to that too. That's
yeah.
pretty pog. So this is a question I think I kind of want to ask a lot of people, but it's kind of it pertains to streaming, but it also pertains to you.
Mhm.
So the question is, what's something that you wish you knew about yourself when it came to streaming that you wish you knew, kind of when you started? It's like looking
Um,
back, like 2+ years on your streaming career. It's like, what's something that you wish you could tell yourself and be like, okay, I need to do this.
I'd say something that I didn't learn for I probably learned it late into the first year of streaming is I don't know. I wish that I would have known how accepting the community is. I guess like
Yep.
that I didn't have to doubt myself
Yep.
or I don't know.
I mean, it's nervous, right? Like your gameplay is being analyzed, right? Like whether
Yeah.
whether it's by somebody who's like just like you said, a casual gamer, or somebody that's like really really good at the game. Yeah.
I mean, this is a long stretch for your question, but I wish I started playing the game a while ago. Cuz
Oh,
I
that's fair.
swear, yeah, I swear one thing I love this community so much. Sorry community that I'm about to say this,
Mhm.
but it's hard on new people.
Yep.
It is so hard on new people because by the time I started playing, there were metas for everything. The gear was figured out.
Yep.
Everyone knew how to speed run everything. Tob, Chambers, Inferno, all of that was already out. So best believe that every single person, well, okay, not every single person, but best believe that a lot of people had something to say about what I was doing.
Yep. I mean, and I honestly like I catch myself doing that too with like inventory tags. That's like the one thing where it's like just know where your inventory is. But I'm somebody that also use that stuff. And
Yeah, I
like,
mean, that's why
yeah,
I've never really like yeah, maybe
mm,
I'll make a face at it, but because I personally grew out of it, but I get it.
yeah,
Because when I
yeah.
was learning Chambers, I was panicking about everything. I didn't know what prayers were. Like people were saying mage pray, and then I was like, oh gosh, I need to click the blue stuff.
Dude,
So
the oh yeah.
yeah, the
So
mage gear.
like I remember I had like a very similar experience. I didn't even know what F keys were. So
Yeah,
like
I didn't either.
I'm here like I had like boomer clicks back then, and I still do to some degree. But I'd be like, oh, like let me just tab over, and I was like, where's my prayer? And then like by that time you get hit
Yeah,
like
by
a
that time you're
50,
like,
and then a 30
and
crystal, and then a 20 auto, and you're dead. It's just like
yeah, and you're like, where, what is this gear?
yeah.
Like, I'm supposed to figure out what to wear on top of all of this. So I get why people use inventory tags.
Yeah. And actually you're actually bringing up a great point, right? Like how do you introduce new players, right? Because like the way I think about it, there are a lot of people who, and this is like maybe like the natural path to the game, right? You do like
Hmm.
God Wars, then eventually you start doing Chambers, you get a big drop, right? Continue to do Chambers, right? Maybe you sprinkle in some TOB, and this is what I'm saying is like like
Yeah,
the streamer sort
the
of
typical.
the typical streamer path, right? Goes from like God Wars to Chambers. Eventually, if they get enough money from different places, right, through Slayer and things like that, they go do Inferno, right? Then
Yeah,
they're in Inferno for a while because and then we'll
everyone.
definitely touch on this in a
Yeah,
little bit, but
yeah.
then they transcend from Inferno to Top, right? And then it's like, shit, what do I do, right? Because
Hmm.
like that's kind of like the natural progression of content. Maybe for some people you can switch out Top and the Inferno, um, but that's like a very overwhelming experience, right? And like I was somebody that progressed pretty much in that exact order, right? I would like make money
Yeah.
through Slayer like a noob and God Wars and things like that. So what are your
Yeah.
thoughts on like introducing new players and welcoming new players into a community, right? Because I think a lot of the people, I love going through like the old school chat, like the category, and watching
Hmm.
people with like, two, three viewers, one viewer, because it's like, I want to just see what you're
Yeah.
up to. Because like, I would consider myself somebody that's, not a new player, and but I still want to make these people feel welcome. So, what are your thoughts on how it's currently going, and if you would maybe change something?
I think the thing that I'll start with the thing I would change. I mean, I progressed differently, I'd say, because I started on mobile, blah blah blah.
Hmm.
Went to PC. I skilled a bit,
Yep.
just a little bit, not. I killed Fally guards until like base 75 combats, like all
Respect.
of them. Got
Holy
like
crap.
I forget how
Respect.
many ranger boots. I got a lot of ranger boots from those medium clues. I think I have like 7 if I'm not mistaken.
Oh my god. What is
Yeah.
your? Hold on, let me look you up. What is your medium KC?
It's like 1300 or something. I spooned. But then
Oh
I
my
went to
god.
Wraith. I went to Chambers, started streaming.
Hmm.
Chat said learn solo Chambers, learned it, went Inferno, went top, and then from there blasted off. But what I would change, I think, if I could change it about the community, is that people have a tendency to try to help.
Hmm.
I'd say especially with female streamers.
Yup. Yup.
People have a tendency to want to be like, "No, honey, you have
Uh,
to it's
like, oh
better if you
hey,
do
you're a.
this."
You're like, yeah, like, oh hey, you're like a damsel in distress or something,
Yes,
and you're
it's a
just like,
real
yeah,
it's a real like
like a savior complex just
it's a
being
sacred
amplified.
conflict.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, I know a lot of things affect that and cause it, but it shouldn't be like that. And it's not just with female streamers. I think that people should enjoy the content that other people want to stream the way they want to stream it. Because the thing
Hmm.
about RuneScape is that regardless of what anyone says, there's no set way of doing anything, and that's what's great about RuneScape.
Agreed.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
if people want to not do Nightmare Zone, train their stats on Fally guards, fine, get 7 Ranger boots.
Right.
If
Exactly.
people, yeah, like if
There's an Iron Man I know who like he spooned a Tebow, and
oh my gosh.
he didn't want to like kill shamans, and I was like, honestly, I wouldn't either, because like
Yeah.
I was like, that like that kind of stuff makes sense. Like, do what you like first and foremost, do what's fun, right?
Yeah, it
If
shouldn't be
you,
pressure. There should be no pressure from the community when you're all
exactly,
trying to enjoy a game together. It doesn't have to be
exactly.
enjoyed in the same way.
That's why like I've never been a don't get me wrong, like I've definitely backseated my friends, right? Like
Mhm.
bantering and being like, "Oh, like what are you doing?" Missing
Mhm.
takes or like things like that, but I will never go to like somebody that I don't know and be like, "Hey man, you should do, list like 10 things that they're doing wrong." Cuz I don't want to be told that like if when I don't care about it, right?
Yeah,
It's
and
kind of the
it's
way I
not
look
just
at it.
that too. The problem that I've always had, that I still have to this day, I think the one thing that could make me a little bit angry
Mhm.
is people trying to, even if I've been very, very blunt with saying I do not want any advice unless I ask for it.
Right. Right.
But there are times where advice is given, and I would much rather, I think I speak for a lot of new players, maybe.
Mhm.
I would much rather figure it out on my own, because I mean, what's the fun in just knowing how to do something
Right. There's like
instead of
a
like,
certain path to that, right?
I mean, yeah, RuneScape's all about accomplishment.
Mhm.
So,
Exactly.
yeah, so what's the point of someone else telling you exactly how to do something
Yeah, and like that, I
and
think that's
taking
like
that from you?
the yeah, like that's like the addicting part is like being able to accomplish stuff, and be like,
Mhm.
because like I was very competitive when I grew up. Like I played a lot of sports, even in college, played sports, and it was just like, man, like I'm going off to like the to some more school. Then I'm
Yeah.
working now, and it's just like, wow, like that sense of accomplishment, like I really, it's because it's easy, right? It's like a tangible thing, like, oh, I received a KC, right? Like things like
Yeah,
that.
like
So
this is 100% possible to figure out.
yeah, yeah, no, that's awesome. So let me pivot this to your solo top, which is actually what I want to say, and maybe this is incorrect, but I feel like the solo top was when your channel grew quite a bit. Um, your solo top attempts and then your
Mhm.
completion. I remember watching your completion and being like, "Holy fuck!" Like because like I had seen the only person I had ever seen do solo top before that was Chungus, right?
Mhm.
And I honestly like to me that seemed like so far out of the reach, like just so far out there in terms of like something I wanted to try.
Yeah.
I'll share my my solo top attempt with you. But
Oh
um
no.
but that is awesome. But I want to ask you, where did that inspiration come from? What kind of brick walls did you have? I mean, I'm sure Nilo and Zarpus and things like that. Um, and I believe you did this before the Blood Fury, right?
Yes, I did.
Yes. Oh my God, gaming. And so tell us about that experience. Um, how it was, like how it felt streaming that, and what advice do you have for people going for their first completion? Because I've seen a lot of people,
Mhm.
as people continue to burn out, unfortunately. I think that's a lot of goal for people. Being able to solo tab, and what kind of
uh
advice you may have.
I think what inspired me really is the same thing as before. I would my main goal, the reason why I progress so fast in the game, because I think my solo top KC was like a year and a half after I started playing.
Yep.
Um, what inspired me in that is that I didn't want anyone to have the opportunity to backseat me, because that's been my goal all along, is to get the biggest challenges I can think of done so that I can be like, hey, look, I'm obviously not a damsel in distress. Like,
Right. Right. Right.
just come in here and hang out. There's no point.
Yeah.
So,
That's
yeah,
nuts. Yeah.
that's my number one, like, that's my number one thing. That's why I've been learning how to PK. That's why I did no pillar and solo top. So
hmm
that's always been my drive. Cause I got irritated with it, you know.
Yeah, of course. Like so I know every solo tobber hates
Hmm.
Maiden with a passion.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
uh, so actually, so I've only done one attempt, and this was like when I was an absolute shitter. I mean, like I had just bought my Ellie, and I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to use this. Let me go do solo top. Literally went to go do solo top, probably died. I think it was like 60% Maiden, and I was like, yeah. I don't think I'm gonna do this, and I haven't gone back since. But how did you like? How long did it take? Do you remember how long it took
It
you?
took me a very long time.
Yeah,
It
I would
took me
imagine.
couple months, 3 months.
Mm.
I don't know. I was stuck there for a long time. Cause
What was your top KC like? Because I feel like you need like I mean, I've like a
um
strong base of like rotations of like aggros and stuff for Nilos and whatnot.
yeah, I'd say cause I grinded out top with people.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think it was like over 5 months or something. I had 1300 KC. It's
Oh
like
my
that.
goodness, that's disgusting and
Yeah.
awesome at the same time. I guess it's the same word, really. In this context, yeah, that's nuts. Um, so do you have any? I know you were doing some on stream. I think yesterday, right?
Mhm.
In the the chicken outfit. But
Didn't work
do
out
you
so
have
well.
do you have any plans to go back and maybe try to speedrun that or try to get better slash more comfortable?
I mean, I don't know why I went back yesterday, to be completely honest. I mean, no offense, Jagex, but the servers are really bad. The servers are so bad. And with something where you have to take it for like 8 hours of your life,
hmm
i it's a little bit stressful when it lags. Cause I mean, first top yesterday, first solo, got
hmm
to bloat, he lagged, double stomp.
Double stomp. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a thumbs down. Log out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, I'll go back and do a chicken suit, see if I can get the KC eventually, but I'm not really interested on having that kind of stress, especially when so many people are doing it now. I feel like it's not. It is a huge accomplishment still, but it doesn't feel the same.
Of course, and I'm not saying like those people who did it like one, and actually we'll get into this later, but I
Hmm.
think a lot of people who do it now, right, predominantly use like blue light or open OSRS, which is
Yeah.
terrible client, or some other private client, um, but you did it on stream, right, and that obviously means that you did there are not a lot of numbers, allegedly on your screen, or things like that. But do you feel like the Blood Fury devalued, or do you think that the Blood Fury was a positive introduction to
Well, I
4-4
mean,
solo topping?
I'd say it was a positive introduction because more people, it was available to more people.
Right.
But I mean, not to say that they wouldn't have gotten it without one, though, is the thing. I personally feel like it devalued it for me personally. Not
Sure.
devaluing anyone else's accomplishments with it,
Hmm.
but it does change a lot. Like
Of
Maiden
course. Yeah.
Maiden is a lot easier with Blood Fury.
Yeah, you just see like the Blood Fury animation proc, and you go from like 50 to 80 HP, and you're just like, oh, instead of getting ready to redemption in like 3 or 4 hits, I can just completely recline now.
Yeah, not to say
Um,
that it's easy now,
yeah,
but I mean, like Nilo boss, there's no reason to step under anymore because Blood Fury heals you.
yeah. Like I would imagine, like you would probably profit HP, especially if you stepped under like for mage and range. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's nuts.
But in
Um,
Soat too, sometimes it'll heal you above Soat Ball, so you don't have to tick eat.
yeah, like wait, what is the max hit? Soap ball in the
70.
solo 70. Like that would be so reclined for like some shitter like me, just
Yeah, I
but
mean it's not like every time, but
right.
and it heals you up before maze too, which is something that doesn't seem like a big deal. But I die to maze like 3 times because I'm awful sometimes.
I mean, yeah, because like what I think max hits like a 3 in there. So
Hmm.
if you're just tick eating right, you may die. Oh my god, yeah. I feel like I would totally
It's
die
hard
to
to
that.
it's kind of hard to die, but it's
Listen,
possible.
I've
It's less
done I've
possible with
done more stupid things before. That's all I'll say.
yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. I had another question. It's like right in front of me. Just need to sort of grasp it. Yes, Zarpus. So,
Hmm.
how did you deal with? And this is a question that I ask a lot of people who solo top. Whether it's in VC or in chat and things like that. But it definitely seems like the most fun rune, like when because like Zarpus is pretty free in team raid, right? Like
Yeah.
there's literally no way to wipe on Zarpus, but don't ask me. I've definitely wiped on Zarpus a
I've
few
definitely
times,
wiped on Zarpus a few times.
but with a brain on at all times, right? It's something that you should be able to clear, 99
Yeah.
99.9% of the time. But in solos, right, it's different, right? It's like a whole nother ball game. You rag tiles, things like that. So what was the hardest thing? Like, I guess what is a skill that you took out of Zarpus after mastering that room?
Um, I learned a bit more. I mean, I don't know how to really explain it because I don't know how much I know about ticks. I got more of that feeling of understanding ticks, I
Hmm.
guess. And
Yeah.
understanding, I definitely learned about attacking on a certain hit of the scythe because something I never worried about in team raids. That's
Right.
just
Right. Did you ever
um
play like leagues or like mess around in leagues with like Tob and Zarpus or no?
yeah, I got to part 2 Verzik
Okay.
solo on
Okay.
leagues, but I didn't have the right gear, so I did not do enough damage to kill red crabs. It was hilarious. I think it
Oh
was an
no.
hour long part 2, if I'm not mistaken.
What?
Just healing, running back and forth, not doing enough damage.
So wait, you took the melee perk, I'm sure, and wait,
Melee perk and draining.
and draining. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, that sounds awful. Like, let alone having to. What is it like in a solo? You're tick eating for like 20 minutes at P2. You'll
Yeah.
to get it from 35 to whatever.
I remember the hype about no learning that you didn't need to tick eat for part 2 of
Yeah,
leagues.
I
And
remember
they
that
got
people were
me.
hella hype. People would bring in like insulated boots,
Yeah.
toss in their SGS, and like start SGSing or some shit. And I was like, listen, you guys are cook crazy. I
Yeah,
took
I
like
did
the
not do
range
enough
perk for
damage.
Inferno, and I was like, honestly, this is so. The range perk was like super broken for Inferno,
Yeah, I remember.
but what it did was like I think I had like a 40 something minute. It was kind of bad PB. But I was like it made me appreciate ticks in the sense where it's like I have a blowpipe that will like it's like a machine gun, because I need to use a machine gun efficiently, and if I have to move, I need to make sure I switch to like my crystal bow or something. But I also
Mhm.
need to do that quickly, right? Because if I don't do that quickly, then I should just stuck with a blowpipe. Um, so yeah, I remember leagues was certainly an interesting experience. And so after 3 months, you finished your solo top KC. Um, I know you got really close a few times before that, right?
Yeah, I had a
Like,
couple like 2%ers.
man,
Yeah, it was
that's
awful.
rough. That's like kind of like just RNG on like getting a few more ranges in there
Well,
instead of
I mean, like,
mages.
if I didn't melee myself so much, I probably would more
I
damage.
remember those. And listen, I'm not saying that to point out. So I've pretty sure I meleeed my boy Zert. Not pretty sure. I 100% meleeed my boy Zert on his hardcore like a few days ago, and I
What?
just like, I stood there and I was just like, got to take a few days off. But we ran a few more after, and I was like, all right, I'm good now. But yeah, melees
Yeah, one
can be
time
costly.
I got done with part two.
Hmm.
First hit, first versing hit was a melee and I died.
No way. That's
Yeah.
so funny. Like an instant nuke, just kind of explodes.
Yeah, after all that.
Yeah. So I guess I may as well just stick onto the Tob theme.
Mhm.
So as you know, Tob hard mode is being released, right? I believe it was confirmed. And the rewards are being I think the rewards are being finalized. I want to say, so like an override to the scythe, right?
Mhm.
The metamorphic dust to which I think is cool.
That's so good.
Yeah, it's honestly good. It's a long time coming.
I have
Um,
6 top pets
okay. Well,
and
you
I
know
hate
what?
them.
Some of us have none with like 1K KC,
No,
and
listen, you
that's
don't want one. You do not want one. There. Well, now with that the dust is coming out, maybe, but before that stupid little spider, I swear,
I was
I don't
not
know
a
how people.
fan. It was
Yeah,
ugly as hell.
I did not like it.
Which okay, so what would be your favorite? Uh, like I guess what
Bloat,
would be your
absolutely.
go-to transmog? Bloat, honestly,
Yes.
that's a good shout. Sodaseg would look way too much like it's like Sodaseg would look just like the corrupted beast in Gauntlet, and I've seen that thing way too many times, so I don't think I would pick Sodaseg.
I don't
Trying to
know how
think.
they would do Nilo, because I don't
Oh
know how
my
small
god,
they would make it.
what if it was the boss and like the boss just changes colors? Nah, that would be like kind of cringe.
That'd be a really big
Um,
pet.
yeah, like, is it gonna be the red one? Is it gonna be the purple one, or is it gonna be like, age range melee?
Well, I don't know how they would do it either, or if they. I would assume they are. Maybe not,
Maybe it
because
just
if
alternates.
well, yeah, because if they make it the same size as the small Nilos, which is about the size of a pet,
Hmm.
then they'll probably say something like it'll be too confusing for bringing the pet into Nilo room. So
That would be hella
yeah,
confusing. I guess
so
if you wanted to troll on 416, you could imagine.
yeah.
That would be actually pretty
I
funny.
kind of hope that it'll be the same appearance and size as a small Nilo, just because of that. But
Right.
I don't know if they would do that.
Yeah, because it's kind of like the Nibbler pet, right? Like that one looks so cool because like you and the Nibbler
Yeah.
have gone through so much together, and same thing with like Nihilus because I think Nihilus is probably the hardest room you're learning Dub. It's especially if
Hmm.
you go with like a all learner team. Yeah. So what do you? So like they mentioned that they want to like have different mechanics to the boss, and I hope they
Yeah.
really do have different mechanics because I don't want it to be like CMs where uh, and again I don't mind this the same rotation. I don't care about that. But
Hmm.
like like they just hit higher. They have higher defense. There's
Yeah,
nothing special.
I'm glad that they touched on that, because that's what, as soon as we heard about CM Top, everyone was like they're just gonna make them hit harder and have more defense.
Yeah.
But they actually did touch on that, so I'm excited. I'm cautiously excited.
Cautiously excited. Yeah, cause like I'm trying to think like I don't want like the maiden update will be nice, right? I think they separately talked about the blood spawns not being super cancerous as they have been in the past. But I want like I want there to be different mechanics. Like for Verzik, I want it to be like me relearning Verzik for the first time, or like me
Yeah.
learning Verzik for the first time, where
I
it's
want to
like,
die a lot with my team.
yeah, like I want it to feel like a challenge, because then there's room for growth, right, as a player,
Yeah.
and I feel like sometimes if you keep doing the same content in the same way, you kind of cap on your skill set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
just kind of fall into a routine, and then it's.
Yeah. Are
I feel like
you
you go backwards in skill too
exactly?
sometimes.
You kind of regress, and you're like, listen, maybe I just need a break or something.
Mhm.
So do you have any plans to, maybe once you get some KC down, do you plan to go back and try to solo hard mode?
Oh, okay. So no one steal this idea from me, all right?
We
I'm
we
gonna try.
we can bleep this out if you want.
I'm gonna try to be the first person to solo easy mode top the story.
Oh my god.
If it's possible, I want to do that first.
I'm sure it has to be possible,
Cause I'm
right?
sure people are gonna try to solo hard mode. Fine, take that. They're better than me. I'm 2KC Andy in top or solo top. But
Mhm.
easy mode, free and clear. Let me sprint.
I think easy mode is, and this may be a different opinion than most. And this even touches back on the conversation about like new players, right, and introducing them.
Yeah.
Um, I don't like the idea of easy mode tab. I think like, I think as a concept, or as a, how do I explain this? As like a genuine effort on Jagex's part to introduce people to top, I think it's good, right?
I
Because like,
think that
go ahead, go ahead.
I think that it should have been introduced when Tob was introduced because that
Mm,
makes a lot of sense.
Agreed.
It doesn't make sense to release an intro to Tob this long after Tob was released.
Yeah, because like
Not to say
most,
that there aren't new people, but
right? Because it's so hard to like to remember that there are new people playing, the game. Like when you're tutorial skipping and you go to like Lumbee to like go kill like goblins, and you see like someone kitted up in like wizard robes and like
I
in
mean,
like a bronze scimitar.
I was a little bit against it at first, but
Hmm.
I thought about it and it was, as a streamer, I had unfair advantages over other learners because I had people who knew what to do.
Hmm.
Not
Exactly.
to say that I didn't do my fair share for 16, but even
Right.
then I had people who were more willing to stick around because I was a streamer. So,
Yeah. And like not
it's
everyone's gonna kind of have that experience,
yeah,
right?
not everyone's gonna have friends they've made through RuneScape because Tob now isn't. I mean, it's endgame kind of. It's what we have
Right.
for endgame, but
Right.
people are people are getting there fast now. Some people skip
Yeah.
out on chambers completely, so they
Yeah.
don't make the connections through chambers to finding a clan to learn how to do
Yo.
chambers.
Right.
They
Yeah.
yeah,
And I'm
they
I'm
just
a
get to
big,
416.
like, I trust, like, for me, I know I've been like pretty much against clan, like joining a clan, because like the way I see it is like I want to game with my friends. If I can't game with my friends, I'm cool, I'll chill. But
Yeah,
there's another thing. I have Discord. I have people that I don't normally talk to that I can talk to, right? I have
yeah,
people that I, reach out like, through mutuals, and, I game with them. So in a way, yeah, that's kind of like a clan. But I do agree. I feel like it's much more accessible now, and people aren't that scared to go do top, which is great.
yeah.
But
I feel like
mm,
as well as people who do have those connections, it's really normal for us to be like, no, there doesn't need to be an easy mode Tob, but we've had this network around us. Some people just don't have that. Like they're new to the game.
right,
Maybe their friends play other games.
right. I would honestly
So
like something similar introduced for Chambers too. Like, just maybe that's a little too ambitious, or maybe that's pointless, but I think like, oh hey, this is like a mini game to help you understand top, or like a mini game to help you understand Chambers. Now, that sounds awesome.
yeah,
But
I really
yeah,
do understand both sides of it though.
same.
Like
Cause it's like,
yeah.
we like when you're at the, when you're at the, I hate saying like high level community, right? Because
Yeah.
HLC, it's like, there's a
Well,
lot of
that's what
negativity.
I never knew what HLC stood for. Don't judge me,
Hey,
chat.
come on, man. No, no,
I've
no. Like,
been
so
no, I've
now
been
we
pretending
know.
to know what it means for a long time.
Listen, I thought LFG meant. What did I think LFG meant? I don't remember what I thought it meant, but I was like, "What is LFG?" And eventually I found out it was like, "Let's fucking go," and I was like, "Oh, wow!" Like I'm a dumbass. Okay, probably should have figured that out sooner. But yeah, but like I think the HLC or whatever, I guess I would say the people that I enjoy, PVMing with who are really good at the game. I think that they also make a great point where it's like, listen, we have been doing the same content for the last 2 plus years, right? Because
Yeah.
that's when Top came out, right, in 2019, I think so. And it's like people and myself included, we just want something new to do, right? Like I look at
Yeah.
RS3, they have bosses with new mechanics, with
Yeah,
new
I actually
weapons,
started an
with
RS3 account.
yeah, yeah, and like, and I was like that's like there's so much appeal to that, right? Like, yeah, the
Mhm.
game is different, but the roots are still the same, right? The combat triangle, right? Things like that. Like, you can associate yourselves, old school with RS3 more, and you're like,
Yeah.
well, now you're seeing people, who used to play old school exclusively, right? They are now playing RS3. They're now streaming that. So, yes, Jagex as a company is now getting more people, to play RS3, but no, old school is a bread and butter, and I think for that
Yeah.
sort of division, it's like we kind of want raids 3. We want something that's challenging. Like they came out with 6 Jads, and a lot of people, including myself, kind of breezed through that. Yeah, I would say
Yeah,
definitely
first
died
day.
many times, but yeah, like six, like yeah, it took me like I think under 20, 30 attempts for the entire thing, and I was just sitting there like. I was actually super hyped for this because I thought I was gonna like die, like really,
Yeah.
really quickly, and like I don't know. I mean, I am all for like I am all for introducing these kind of like new one-off kind of experiences, but you know, I feel like Raids 3 has been a long time coming. Um
Yeah.
yeah. But speaking of Raids 3, what do you kind of want it to be? Do you have any ideas? Like have you thought about like how you want it themed, how you want it maybe kind of mechanics you want to see, things like
Well,
that?
honestly, I don't think that I've been around long enough
Okay. Yeah.
to have been wanting Rage 3 for. Well, I've only been wanting Rage 3 for like the last few months, because
Mhm.
Top was new to me.
Right, right, understandably.
So I haven't really put much thought into it.
Yeah, that's
I.
fair. I think, yeah, I don't know, like the desert seems so empty. I feel like that'd be a really cool place.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe something in the water would be dope, like a water themed one. That'd be kind of cool.
Tempera.
Yeah, maybe not Temperus, but something like desert theme would be pretty cool. I know Lucid Dream, who I'm a big, big fan of, he's an absolute monster. I think he came out like last year, or he had like a tweet with like ideas and concepts of like Raids 3, which I thought were super
I
fascinating.
feel like I read those.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, like I would definitely, I could see myself dying here many times. Um, but yeah,
I tried one thing in RS3 that I
mhm,
did try for the first time. I tried dungeoneering.
yeah,
That was awesome. I wish they had that in OSRS.
yeah. I think the closest thing is probably like Gauntlet, but
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
like
very
dungeoneering was
gauntlet-y.
super awesome. I played RS3 from like when I was in college,
Mhm.
quite a bit, and like I ended up maxing like a nerd, and but I was like a skiller Andy, so I really hadn't done like much PVM, but
Yeah.
I did like a lot of Slayer and stuff, and yeah, I mean it was awesome, yeah. Um, do you so you're kind of a freak at LMS. Really, 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 really good. Um, and I know you do LMS pretty much exclusively on your hardcore.
Mhm.
Um, and on your hardcore, you've been going for the MSBK. Now,
Oh
I know
yeah.
those capes are like very challenging. Probably under 5 or under 10 people have accomplished it. I think your PB is wave like I think you made it to Zuck, right? Or am I tripping?
Yeah, we went from wave 59. I took a long break, did the no pillar, and then came back and got to Zux.
Yeah. That's filthy. I mean, and honestly, I feel like the no pillar helps your game a lot.
It does. It
Yeah,
does.
yeah. So, what's like? I want to say like and again, as someone who exclusively, honestly, the only thing I stream is Inferno. Like
Hmm.
I don't really like streaming chambers or anything like that because I like to take like 15, 20 minute breaks after each chambers to like just do nothing. But what is what's kind of like the biggest challenge of an MSB cape? It feels like it's just like not being able to kill anything in time and like
I
bursts.
would. Oh, what were you saying?
No, I was saying, are you also? Is it also a burst cape or?
Yes, it's
Yeah,
also a
it's.
burst game.
Oh god. Yeah.
I'd
Tough.
say the biggest challenge, other than it being a burst cape, which was the biggest mistake of my life, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's no joke
I mean,
doing
it's
a burst cape.
expensive. It's expensive
Yeah,
training
it's a lot of
magic,
rune
so
arrows.
I get it. Oh, that too. Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
How many do you go through? Like on a, I guess on like an average run.
Uh, I
Hella.
have no idea,
We'll
honestly.
we'll stick with hella. Stick with hella.
I've well, I don't know. That's kind of immoral how I get my runes, so maybe I should talk about
Oh yeah. Let's not discuss this secret strat.
that.
Funny story though. After I added you on my iron, I remember like the second day after it kept saying you were logging in and logging out. I remember I like had a message ready to see when you logged in. And I tick perfect sent it, and I was like, nice buying runes question mark. And you're like, oh come on man. But yeah, no,
No,
I
I
would
mean, Bodhi
imagine.
streamed the method. It was
Mhm.
I have over 200,000 rune arrows on my main
Holy
from
shit.
by yeah, it's
Yeah.
rough. It shouldn't have taken that much, but I'd say the biggest challenge for MSB for me is number one, prayer conservation, because you have to be careful about that.
Like
And then
I've seen like you do like the two tick alternate like perfectly. You know what I mean? Like the one where you don't lose any prayer. And
mm,
to me, that rhythm, like my wrist is ironically looking at me like you cannot do this. Like you just cannot click like this. And I accept that. But that kind of like I think they said one ticking wasn't even like a planned mechanic in the game. So being able to do that is honestly insane.
yeah, I learned how to one tick doing solo top.
Oh yeah,
Like
obviously.
my first infernal cape, I lazy flaked the whole thing because I didn't understand anything.
Same. I understood like I understood when the ranger was gonna stand up. That was about it. And I understood like spam,
Yeah,
flicking between my prayers,
yeah,
and hoping that it was right.
hoping for the best. And shout out SGS. Oh my gosh,
Oh my
I
god.
would not have made it without the
Yeah.
SGS.
SES
But
was broken. It's broken.
but I guess another big challenge of that cape is yeah, patience and prayer. How long it takes. Oh
Hmm.
my gosh. Um.
Yeah. I think I did an off task, or I was doing like a no pillar attempt, and I was
Mhm.
like, this is slow. And that was the only like those were like the only three words that could come out of my mouth. I'm like, this is slow. I would have already killed something by now.
Yeah.
It's been like 20 ways later. So I
Yeah.
know like AddyCon has also done like no pillar speeds before,
Yeah. He's
and
absolutely insane.
he is an absolute. I will say this now. His clicks are just disgusting. But
I'd say talking to Addie about the Inferno is like one of the funniest experiences of my life.
he had a picture, which I will hopefully toss up when I compress this together. But he had a picture of like a mechanic of like how to kill a blob in a melee, and he like made it in paint, and like the entire Discord just hit him with a question mark. Like, dude, what are you on?
Are you
Him
talking
and
about
his
the one
jelly
he made
beans.
in
Yes,
Minecraft too?
yes, and we're just like I'm seeing a 3x3 square with like 16 different colors around it, and I have no idea what it is. So I'm just gonna click NPC as he says.
I asked him how to
Um,
correct a two tick, and
oh
I've never
no,
felt more ashamed in my entire life. I
what
was
did he
like,
say?
well, no, he started talking. I don't know. He just started typing all this stuff, and I was like, uh huh, okay. But
They're like, yeah,
inside, I knew, I accepted in my heart that I would never know how to do it.
yeah. He is somebody who's like very approachable too, and yeah,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
he does wonders for the Inferno community. It's insane.
So you are also which is unsurprisingly, I should say, or not surprisingly, really really good at the Inferno. So you actually, I think I was struggling to get a sub 60, I think, and I remember watching one of your streams, and you like cruised through it, and it was like the cleanest 58 or 59 minute. I unfortunately I don't remember your PB, but I remember it was a sub 60, and I remember
Mhm.
watching it, and I was thinking, dude, I can also do this. Like, I know I can do this because like watching like your streams were one of the first times I watched somebody do the Inferno in terms of
Mhm.
like in like speedrunning, right? A lot of the people I watch were like either way better than me, someone who I couldn't understand what they were doing in their decision making, who I like now better understand. But like
Yeah.
being able to like look at somebody who's better than you, but like still within, shooting, having that same pace that you're trying to shoot for, and like
Yeah.
being able to like look at them, figure out what they're doing, look at their splits, and be like, oh, like they're 30 seconds a minute faster. Like, all right, cool. Let me look at what I'm doing and figure out where I can take out 20 seconds, right?
Mhm.
And slowly chipping away at your own skill set. So, do you have any plans of sending speedies or going for like a sub 55? Because I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. I think the entire speedrunning community wants you back. At least the Inferno speedrunning community wants you back.
Aw.
I do at least. I
No,
mean,
listen, hear me out,
you're
hear me out.
okay. If
I
it's
I've been
fucktail
trapped.
skipping, I
I've been
understand.
trapped in the Inferno.
I know, I
Listen,
know.
I went for my sub 60, and then I went for my hardcore cape. I've been stuck here for I don't even know how long. Took a
Yep.
break from the hardcore cape to do no pillar for some reason, which took me a minute. And then
Honestly,
back to the hardcore
yep.
cape. But I do want to get a sub 55 is the thing. So I keep
Mhm.
telling myself, I keep saying to stream out loud, hey, once I'm done with this, I'll be free of this place forever. But I
Right.
know I'll go back like very shortly after.
Definitely. I mean, like I remember this was like probably like what 4 months ago when you got a sub 60. And like it's crazy to see like the list of people with like sub 55 or like sub 60.
Yeah.
Like that list is just growing. Like just every day it's just growing. And the people with sub 50 is like, I think it was like 4 or 5 when I
Mhm.
started, and then now it's grown to like, like I think it's like over 10, it's like probably like 15 or something.
Yeah, so
And I
I
know
have to go for a sub 55 at least
you have to,
eventually. I have to.
because you're like, again, I know a lot of the people who stream feel the same way, especially people who stream Inferno. We definitely want to see you back, because you're nasty, and yeah, that's all I have to say about
Next
that.
time, next PB I won't take a Jad hit probably. I think I
Heck,
take two.
do you do any skips at Jed or at Suck or no?
Yeah, I did a Jad skip.
Jed healer skip? Okay.
No, not
Oh,
Healy.
just okay, okay.
Yeah.
Normally, yeah, it's like I think leagues was really nice because I got a lot of free practice with Jad
Yeah,
skip. So when
wish.
yeah, when I
I
came
wish
back,
I took a
wait, did
sorry.
you no? Did you do the melee?
I did
Like
the
the melee.
melee Inferno
Oh my god, I
briefly.
don't know how you did. I tried to
It was
do
so
it. I died, and I was like, I'm not doing this.
it was so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause I got to whip the ranger down when set spawned.
Oh my god, you would probably annihilate it.
Yeah, it was so funny.
I saw some pure. There was like a clip on Behemoth. He like declawed the ranger or something, and I was like, and he
Oh
killed
my
it, and I was
god.
like, oh nice. I guess that works. Um, yeah. So like, what are your thoughts on? And again, no right or wrong answer to this. What are your thoughts on cheat clients or plugins that plugins that are considered OP? Like, and then I guess the way I would preface this is they're plugins on like the plugin hub, right, which are approved by, I guess,
Yeah.
RuneLite, which is inherently improved by Jagex. Like the Quest plugin helper. I mean, I think that thing is absolutely broken. Right?
Yeah,
You
I don't
have
like that.
you have something that like tells you exactly what you're doing here and there, and it's just like, listen,
I
care
think
so
I think
much
the
about
quest
that.
one yeah, the quest one's too much like other MMOs. The reason why I didn't
Right.
like other MMOs is because it's auto pathing. They had auto pathing. They're like, here's a giant arrow pointing where you need to go, what you need to click on. So because RuneScape's
Yeah.
questing is an experience that I feel like people need to have. Yeah,
Yep.
open up Slayer music, open
Yep.
up the quest guide to have
Yep.
fun for getting something.
Morning's End Part Two, like that was so painful. I had to like stop. Basically, it was. I mean, painful, but like I don't know. I look back on it fondly, but it was like I would literally before I even entered like the little maze, I would like stop and like take notes and write down where I needed to go exactly, and then like I would fuck up and I'd oh come on man, and just like restart. But yeah, I don't know.
Um,
Like I think the one thing I wish, which this is a very selfish thing, because of the Inferno, I wish I could just have low RAM. I
yeah.
don't care about any of the whatever TOB plugins there are out there, Chambers plugins, because that stuff
Yeah.
like I learned without, and like I don't need any of those. But to me, like the way I see it is like when you're trying to go fast, you should have basic advantages, right? And I think
Yeah, and
a
I think
basic thing would be like, hey, if something's dead, like get the fuck off my screen, you know?
yeah, I get that. I guess I'm kind of neutral on it. It's
Yeah,
necessary at this point for speedrunning. Like there's no
because if they
if
banned
you
it
want
now, yeah, if
yeah,
they
if you
banned
want
it
a
now, you're
very
not,
fast
yeah,
time,
yeah,
you need to have it at this point.
right,
Well, I mean,
definitely,
like, of course you can get a very fast time without it, but it makes it a lot less. I guess you know what I mean.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I
It's
guess,
a norm now
mhm.
for it.
Yeah, like you don't see people doing. I mean, maybe like I see a lot of people who do like Inferno, like when they go for their
Yeah,
first
I'd
gig.
say Inferno only in that
Yeah,
speedrunning group. If you don't have it, then
you're just at a
you're gonna have a
disadvantage,
disadvantage. Yeah.
and it's a big one. Like I know people who are like I think Addy had like a sub 50 without it, but like I'm not like him, and most people who speedrun, they're within like 10 minutes of his time, but they're not gonna do it. And I'm like heavily reliant on that because
Yeah.
boomer eyes, boomer clicks, the whole thing is just kind of cringe for me at least. When I had when I had high RAM at least. But like some of the death animations, I won't lie, I miss seeing a bat die. I hate bats, so it's kind of cool to see him sort of shrivel away. But yeah, I don't know. The Inferno I think is where a lot of people are going now uh, to kind of continue to push their skill set. I think maybe you feel the same way, but just even my no pillar attempts that I've had so far, I feel like I'm learning a lot about kind of just starting in the middle and setting up a two tick and then just sending, sending it for lack of a better way to say it. Killing bats, killing mages, trying to prioritize, NPCs to kill and whatnot. Um, but yeah, I think no pillars are obviously a really good thing for speedrunners to try to do. Because like that's why I'm saying I want to see you back because now that you've done a no pillar, I feel like you're gonna be an absolute freak when it comes to speedrunning, and we're waiting for you to come back. Gee,
Um, I'd say with the plugins too, even though it's a normal thing in the speedrunning Inferno community, it's not really something that I want to be normalized. I
yeah,
don't want it to be
okay,
normalized across the entire game.
hmm,
Cause like yeah, death animations should be able to be disabled.
right.
Cause I mean they're kind of stupid. They're very stupid sometimes. Especially
That
uh
ice demon,
the Nilo that spawns on part 2 Verzik, the purple
yeah,
one.
yeah,
The death animation is so tall.
it sucks.
It's very bad, but well, I guess I don't know if that's different though, because you can still click on it.
I mean, I feel like I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
Like
but
at the
it's
end of the
not.
day, like death animations are part of the game, right?
Yeah, it's not something that I want to be like
Yeah.
completely normal across the game. Even though that's not very fair to say it's alright in this area, but not in this one. But
I mean, yeah, because like if you allow for one thing, right, you make the case for it to be allowed for another. And I wish
yeah,
Jagex would take a stance on that, right? So
yeah,
either
it's
either let us know if we're gonna get stand for it or if we're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I know a lot of people are all about low RAM, right? And that community is, that community is very kind of stuck in their ways when it comes to how they want to approach speedrunning Inferno.
Well, because it
So
is better.
it is, yeah, and it is objectively better. And
Yeah.
I'm a big proponent of having that low ramp. But don't get me wrong, I like seeing things die in chambers, for example. I
Hmm.
like, to me it feels unnatural to
Yeah,
have
for them
low
to just
RAM
bloop
on.
out of existence.
Yeah, and also because most like most of my case, actually all of my KC on my main, I did with, without with a lot of RAM.
Yeah.
And I miss that, right? I miss like that's kind of what I'm used to, and I think that's what a lot of players are used to.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like that for the Inferno speedrunning community, at least, and even maybe at Tob for Nihilers and things like that. I mean, there are a lot of OP plugins that I've seen, people use, and hopefully
Oh,
I will
there are
have some
definitely some plugins.
where it's like, bruh, what? But like I knew most of the, like, again, probably like you, actually 100% like you. I learned Tob and got comfortable with Tob, off quote unquote client, and things like that. Um,
Yeah, when I
but
was doing solo top,
yeah,
I was sent a clip of it had Zarpus with the tick counting
yeah,
on
and you're
it.
like, what is
And
this?
a part of me I won't deny it, part of me was like, man, it would be so nice to have that.
Yeah, did you ever like, were you very tempted or like close, or I guess close, to maybe exploring that idea, or were you
No.
kind of steadfast in his?
I'm very steadfast in my ways.
Mhm.
But I mean, like, not to say that the idea of it wasn't like of a very, I mean, it was tempting, but not tempting enough for me to even consider it. But I can understand why people use it because it takes a lot of the frustration out of it.
Right, right, and but I think people who've done it, like people who like consistently do it off client, like you, right,
Hmm.
and Chungus, are like the two people that come to mind that I know, and even Phil too. If you know who Phil too is,
Yeah.
he, like, yeah, it's like those are the three people that I think of when I think of people who are absolute freaks, right? Because the way I see it, it's very easy to click what you're being told to click.
Yeah.
But it's very difficult to learn these things over and over and over again. Eventually, you reach a point where you know things just as well as the plugin does. Like the way I see Chungus's Arpus, right? It's like the
Fungus'
cleanest.
Sarpus is absolutely disgusting.
It's actually so sexy.
Sometimes I just sit
Yeah.
there and I just stare, and I'm
You're
like,
like, oh,
what the?
yep. You're just like, holy fuck. He did that. Like he
It's
did
actually
that
like
shit.
mesmerizing. His pathing on Zarpus, it's absolutely incredible.
I think he has probably some of the best pathing in the game. Um, like it's just like it's all fluid. And like he's one of those people like yourself that's just good at the game, right? It doesn't matter what. And that's kind of the way I see it. Is like you'll have people who are like really good at top, but like they
Hmm.
can't click to save their life, in like chambers, right? And vice versa. You'll have people who are just absolute gods at chambers, but they step into somewhere like the Inferno and they're just like they're lost. And that's not to say that they can't do that content, right? Because like if no matter how much time you put in, right, you
Yeah.
will only get better. That's the way I see it. But like there are very few people in the game that are just really, really good at everything. I think Chungus is one of those stuff.
Fungus is very, very good at the game.
Yeah, he's nasty.
He's also very good at
Um,
making tacos.
he's also very good
They
at.
were very tasty tacos.
Oh yeah, cause you guys met up, right?
Yeah.
In
Yeah, that was
Florida. That was
best
like
tacos I've
last
ever
year.
had.
That was like last year, right? Florida.
Somewhere
Yeah, I remember that.
a few months back.
Somewhere. Yeah, that's awesome. Now I remember seeing this. Dude, I remember it was like last summer or some shit. I remember seeing you like PK'd Rocket or something, and I know he's hella competitive. Rocket's my boy.
He's a very competitive person.
Oh yeah, like
I'm not competitive.
he. I What? I don't know if I
Yeah.
believe that.
No, I'm 100% not competitive.
But are you? Are you
Well, I'd
self?
say
You're self-driven. I would say
yeah,
100%.
it's more
Yeah.
competitive with myself, I'd say.
Sure. Sure.
But I think streaming's definitely planted a competitive seed in me, just not in the
Mm,
case of wanting to beat other people doing the same things, but more of okay, I'm going to be better than you so that you don't think that I'm just some girl who doesn't know what's happening.
right. And I think that goes back to like the first, kind of like our discussion from earlier, where
Yeah.
being a female automatically, like a lot of men, man, maybe this goes the other way, right? When the norm is for gamers to be, maybe not even the norm, the stereotype is for men to be the gamers, right?
I mean, it's a male dominated community.
Right. And it's like I remember thinking like oh man, like my first thing when I watched your stream, I was like, dude, how is she this good? Like I have no idea. I'm so bad at this game. Because that was my first, like that was one of my first things that I remembered, and I was like, I remember like thinking about it, and I was like, well, I have to think about this in the right way because otherwise I'll just turn into like all these other idiots, right? And the way that I thought about it was, I also want to be right as good, and doing that and being able to learn from people or just who are better than you is like a cool kind of mentorship. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I think being a female is definitely tough. When it
Yeah,
comes
cuz
to not only
it's
speedrunning because all those people are
mhm.
pretty elitist, right? Like you're trying to be the best, so you're coming up with the best tactics, right? And you're trying to implement those best tactics to perfection.
I think
And yeah,
I
but
think what a lot of people don't understand too is that I I don't take things so seriously. Like I of course I do. I put a lot of time into things and stuff
right,
like that. But they'll see me do make stupid
right,
mistakes and I'll
right.
I mean like sometimes I don't want to do things very efficiently.
Yup.
And that has in the past been associated with me being a woman.
Yeah,
Like
and just being lazy. Yeah.
yeah, but
But I'm so lazy to, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's like
it's
you're
it's a
really
lot it's a lot harder for some reason
yeah,
being a girl
yeah.
because everything that you do is connected to that by a lot of people. And I would like to say that it's not a lot of people, but it is. And
Yeah, I mean, it's sad, but
it
it's
is. It's very sad.
I think that's just a reality that is that for a lot of streamers, a lot of female streamers, it defines the community and the channel that they build. Um,
Yeah,
you either do a really good job at sort of assimilating, just gaming and then just kind of focusing on that and keeping the fact that you're female outside of that, right? Like kind of the
yeah,
same energy you were talking about. And like,
it's hard. You have to I guess my approach to it, which is it took me a while to even get to that approach, is to just force it. Say, hey, there's no possible do enough to where people are like, okay, there's no possible way that I can be like
yeah,
this person's not good.
right. Yeah, yeah. And I hope that as time progresses, as sort of speedrunning different areas of the game evolve, um, that sort of continues to become something that is normalized, right? The fact that there are
Yeah,
female gamers. Like I want to say, I think you were what the first female to solo top. I
as
could
far as
be,
we know.
as far as we know, and I think maybe Dark Purple is also solo top. I could be kind of wrong about that. I don't
I don't
exactly follow her streams,
know.
but I know she's a freak at like solo CMs. So it's
Yeah.
like it's like there are people who are just flat out good, and you
Yeah,
need to you need to look at them like that.
it's very interesting that it was very difficult to me understanding when I first started streaming, understanding that I was not being looked at as another player. I was being looked at as a girl who played the game.
Right.
Because
Right.
all my life I never really hung out with girls. Like I was always playing Call of Duty with the guys, Destiny with the guys.
Right.
So it
Right.
was it was really shocking to start streaming and being like, "Oh, I have to prove myself now that I'm
Yeah.
not just an
Right.
e-girl."
Right. And
Yeah.
we've seen listen, I'm not gonna expose any of the boys, but we've seen some of the just chatting streamers, and it's just like, I mean, if that's the way that you choose to cater your channel, all go for it.
I mean,
And
they're making more money than I am.
hey, they're making more money than I am too. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. Maybe
Yeah.
I will have a hot tip stream coming soon. You never know. Maybe I'll make the jump over to the just chatting section.
Yeah, I really
Um,
feel for a
yeah,
lot of the women in the community though,
mhm. Like
cuz I got
Elfie, yeah,
yeah,
and like
Elfie.
Zoe, like those two. Honestly, super funny. I
Yeah.
popped into Zoe's stream like for the first time like a few months ago, and I was like, dude, she's so fucking funny. And I asked her, I was like, why do you have so many like rakes? And her response was something like, cause she has like a million rakes in her bank, and her RSN is rakes, and I was like, and she's like, just look at my name, dumbass. And I was like, I kind of fuck with that energy. You're one of the boys. And I was like, yup, that's a follow. So yeah, and then like Elfie's honestly so funny. Recently partnered, by the way.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
which I'm big round of applause.
Yeah, big
Honestly,
res.
super well deserved. Um,
She was grinding her streamer. She still
yeah,
is.
she still is, and obviously, I think she still be live. I don't know. She was doing like a 24-hour stream.
But
Um,
like I've talked about it on stream before, and
hmm,
Elfie agreed with me, and a couple others. It's really hard going into a place where when you go live, you know instantly that people are
yep,
gonna doubt you, that
yep,
people are gonna sexualize you, that
yep.
you have to doubt yourself, whether people are watching you for your content or whether people want to be around a woman.
Yeah, yeah, because it's like which one is it, right?
Yeah,
And
so
if yep, and I think like the first several months, however you want to categorize it, of streaming, that's like kind of when you need to establish that, right? Because then,
yeah,
and I'm not gonna say this because there's literally no one I can think of that's like this in old school, but well, maybe. But if you instantly start selling out, right, and it's like
yeah,
I'm just gonna do whatever I think is the best, and I'm not gonna be authentic and true to myself. Well, then you're gonna have a problem in terms of you feeling content with streaming, right?
yeah.
Instead of it being something you do for fun and maybe for a job for most full time streamers, it's gonna be something that feels like a chore. And
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know. I think like I for one used to. I think like last summer I started streaming, and literally it was like me and like five of my boys. Like those were the people that showed up, and I was having a great time. So I'm just chatting shit with them, playing
Yeah.
DMCA music. Don't find me DMCA. Don't give me a strike. And like just having an awesome vibe and like just chilling with the boys and banning people who come in to troll like instantly. So I definitely understand um establishing a community's I guess establishing a channel's um I guess
It's creating the
principles, for lack of
foundation
a
for
better word.
it.
Hell yeah. Just got 90
So
fishing.
this, yeah. Oh, grass. I'm not even
Okay.
playing RuneScape.
I'm like AFKing anglers. It's just such an easy conversation to have with you, which is awesome. Um so wait, okay, so your main's name is half Hawaiian, right?
Mhm.
How are you half Hawaiian, or what was the sort of inspiration? Wait, what was your Twitch name also always RSgf?
Yeah,
I could be wrong. Okay, okay.
I actually started using Twitch like a week before I started streaming.
No way.
Yeah, so I had never,
Wait, what was
I,
your first stream, or did you just like start using Twitch? Oh, okay.
I,
I get what you're saying. I get what
yeah. So
you're saying.
like,
Yeah.
I never really watched that much RuneScape content. I watched like, what are their names? Uh, let's
Yeah. Who
see.
did you first start watching?
What's their name? Tanzu.
Oh shit. I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea who that is.
Hold on. I gotta figure this out. Uh,
Tansu.
Pansu and Bertoso.
Okay.
They did like funny challenges together. I didn't know who to watch because I wasn't
Yeah.
around to be part of the community, so like I just found them, started watching them, and then I watched some Spark Max stuff.
Of course, everyone. It's just like
Yeah.
a rite of passage to watch Spark Mac.
So that
Uh,
was about my entire experience of watching RuneScape before I started playing.
yeah, understandable. I think like I was on YouTube
Mhm.
and I was watching. Yeah, I clicked on one of Bodhi's videos, and like Bodhi was, I remembered him from like when I played as a kid, because like he had made like PKing videos and shit like that, and
Yeah.
tossed them onto YouTube. And I had like watched some other like YouTubers back in the day, so like, oh, like, let me click on this, and then there was like a link to his Twitch, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And I remember watching his stream, and I was like, this dude's funny, because like now I'm putting a face to. It's not even a face. I'm just putting like a live,
A
like
human
like a,
being.
yeah, like a live feed to the person that
Yeah.
I had watched all these years, and that was a really cool thing to experience. But I watched him and like Mog Time. I think he recently came back to the game. Trying to think who else. I watched Foe, which was weird because I don't know if I would continue. I don't know if I would say I would like watch him all the time right now, but
Yeah.
I think he was somebody who used to watch, and like Curtis was somebody that I also kind of watched. He pretty religiously when I first started playing. I really liked his energy. Like I think he's one of the most positive people in the
Mhm.
game. It's actually kind of nuts. Like he'll go like insanely drive for something. He doesn't care. He's just having a good time,
Yeah, I wish I
getting
had that kind of
KC.
mindset.
Yeah, me, I'll bitch and complain like
Yeah.
right off the bat.
But
Um,
like
yeah.
yeah, I actually just I I was thinking of a name and I was like, RSgf would be a cool name. It was available on Twitch.
Yeah, and like
And
that's
then
so
yeah,
funny because
actually
like
insane.
it goes back. Is it like related to like the meme, right, of like having like
Yeah. Cuz
RuneScape? Yeah, okay, okay,
I mean, I didn't know much
figured.
about RuneScape, so I was like, what's a RuneScape thing that I do know? And then
Yeah,
somehow I already
yeah,
knew about that.
yeah.
But
Respect,
yeah,
respect.
I made the Twitch account and started streaming. I
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
awesome.
think that I had watched someone stream. I think the first person I tuned into in the OSRS category
Hmm.
after I started streaming was Old Mate Blue.
Okay,
And then
I feel like I've heard that name.
I was actually so new to Twitch that I did click on the Bodhi quitting stream
Oh
because I was like,
no.
well, no, I didn't get scammed from it, or I didn't
Okay,
click onto
okay.
the link, but I was like, this
I'm
guy
dead.
has a lot of viewers. Like, is this a famous person?
Yeah,
And I was like, I wonder why they're quitting, but I didn't. I'm so glad I didn't click on the link.
right. I'm gonna be honest. When I was like when I had just started playing, I was like on I was on Facebook, and I got the ad for like I forget what it was like. It was like, yo, here's like it's like double XP weekend on old school, and I was like, no
Oh
fucking
god,
way they do. And I think I almost clicked on it, but then I went to the website and I was like, huh,
I got fished
interesting.
one time. Okay,
Yeah. Oh no.
when I first started playing, my first 6 months, I was big into draw parties in the first 6 months of playing because I was like,
Understandable.
oh, free money.
Yeah.
So I would hang out at GE and just get a bunch of money for free. I even like spammed typed for people who were streaming draw parties for
Oh my god.
100K. But
100K was. Oh my god. What was your so that what was your first 100K in the game?
spamming for a job party.
Oh my god.
Maybe even
That,
items for a job party.
I was such a noob. So my sister and I used to play when we were like super young, like around that time, and we would both like when our parents were gone to work, like both hop on, play. We would kill cows for cow hides, and then we would go to our boy. I forget what his name was, but we this dude on my friends list. He would legit buy all the cowhide that we had,
Oh my
and
gosh.
we both put together we both had like 100K, and we were both like, oh my god. And we bought like a rune, like scimitar and rune plate body, and we're like, all right, we're kind of chilling. kind of kidded right now. But yeah, that was the first 100K. That's just funny.
I
What
clicked on a
Yeah, go
oh
ahead.
what?
Go ahead. No, 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 go ahead.
Oh, I clicked on a drop party stream on Twitch. No, maybe it was right before I started streaming that I started using Twitch. I think that I didn't have an account then, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
But I clicked on a drop party stream and it linked to RuneScape forum. All right, hear me out.
RuneScape 4. That's crazy.
Or no, for yeah, a forum.
Oh, a forum. I thought you said
Yeah.
four. I was like, no way. You're like RuneScape 4. What's that?
Yeah, so
That's funny.
I went to the forum and I'd never been on the OSRS website
Yeah.
since I created my account. So I was like, "Oh, I just have to put my fucking bank pin in here? Absolutely. Let me sign up for this drop party."
Oh my god.
Yeah, so then
Honestly,
I
it's
logged in
like
and my black
it's such a clever way to get shit like from new
It's a really
players.
good way to get noobs,
Yeah.
really. 'Cause
Yep.
you're like, "Oh, free money and all I have to do is post on
Just
this forum." That's insane.
yeah. And like it's crazy. It's like it's honestly funny. Like if you objectively look at the websites, at first glance they're not bad. They kind of mimic the true websites
Yeah,
themselves,
if you've never really been on the website,
which is perfect
it's
for new players.
yeah,
Yeah.
it looks very legit.
Yep. It really does. But yeah, like I almost clicked on like the double XP one, and I was like, God, what am I doing?
I
Yeah.
put my authenticator, my login, and my bank pin.
But yeah. Maybe we change those things.
I
Dude,
didn't
at
listen
one
to the
time
stronghold of security, I swear.
I was honestly such a dumbass, and I was watching Roydy, but I was on my second monitor, and I was entering in my authenticator, and I just entered my
Uh-oh.
authenticator in on on stream, and Roydy was like, "Blowpipe OSRS, thank you for your authenticator." And I was like,
I
God
typed
damn
my
it,
own
dude!
hardcore's password into my own chat.
Oh my god, that would scare me. I guess it
Yeah,
wouldn't really
it
matter
was when it
if,
first started, so
yeah, yeah. Hopefully, it was just some of the people that have been around long enough that were like, "Hey, yeah, we won't screw you over."
yeah, I just deleted it and hoped for the best and
I like accidentally almost doxed myself, cause like with my email at least, like my personal email, cause
oh god.
I was watching something on YouTube and I was like, yo, I need to bookmark this, and I clicked the bookmark thing, and like what pops up is like your the email that's associated if you have it linked like to your
Yeah.
Gmail or whatever. And I remember I was like, I remember distinctly saying on stream, and I one tick ended and went and deleted the VOD and started the stream again. I checked it there because
I had one scare with doxing,
yeah.
but thankfully it was a pop-up on the browser that didn't appear for stream. So
Okay, that's
I
good.
dodged a bullet there because I had people watching.
Yeah, like man, I'm trying to think of like somewhat scary moments I've had while streaming. Mostly it's just not muting when I'm talking to my sister. I remember one time I was talking to her on the phone. And I was like, "Yo, what do you?" And then I looked at my OBS and I realized I hadn't muted my like input capture, and I was like, "Oh fuck." Um, yeah, that's kind of funny though.
One time I dropped my camera.
Oh my god,
I don't even know how that happened, but it was very embarrassing.
how do you drop the camera?
I don't even remember. I think it was because I had a shitty setup when I first started, so somehow
Yo,
yeah, I think I hit the wire and it fell.
oh, oh, is your camera like mounted? You could probably
And
mount it on
then
top of your
yeah,
monitor.
it was boom, right a shot of my lap, and I was wearing
Oh my
shorts, and
god.
I was like,
Oh
oh my
no.
god.
That's so funny. I
Even thinking about it, God,
yeah, just like shivers go down your
yeah.
Did you like play on a laptop before? Like when you first started? Or were you like a PC gamer from?
It went from mobile to a laptop, and then I got a computer just to play RuneScape.
Oh. Yeah, I did a lot of a lot of people who remember my really early streams. They remember how terrible my laptop was. I'm talking like this potato was like 4+ years old. Like legit was just turn on fire when I started up like the Runelight client, and I'd just be sitting there like, dude, my whole like desktop is hot. I'm starting to sweat because it's so hot. Um, Yeah, and
I'm bad
then
with
very
laptops
recently,
too. I never turn them off and I never unplug them.
yeah, and like that was the worst part too, cause like I use that shit for like school, like other stuff, cause
Mhm.
I had to like program and whatnot, and like there was like programs that like literally would just run for like hours, and it's not like super. It's not that big of a deal when I think about it, cause like I could have still played, but I went to I went to Tob on that, and when I'm saying I got like 3 frames per second when I entered Verzik, I'm not kidding. Like I didn't even know what I was clicking. And after that point, I was like, all right, I just need to upgrade. And a few of the homies, convinced me to upgrade uh PC. But yeah,
It's so funny seeing how many people have really, really good PCs just to play RuneScape.
yeah, like fucking monsters of a unit, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna play this game from.
You have like the tiniest client in the corner of your screen.
Yeah, yeah, people who play on fixed and like have like just monstrous. It's like, dude, what?
Like 3 monitors. You've got,
Yeah,
and then you have to like use a micro or use a magnifying glass to find your
yeah,
client on them.
yeah. Do you have any plans to like stream anything outside of old school? Or
Uh,
are you kind of because like you said, right, and you hinted at you're pretty, how do I say this? You're still new to the game, right? And things like
yeah.
Top are fun for you. Things like I'm
Wars I haven't
sure,
touched.
yeah, like you haven't learned flicking yet. I'm sure you'll
I've
have
never
a
done
fun time
Serb.
flicking.
I've never done a Hydra.
Listen, I'm here to tell you, fuck Serb. My boy Donnie has like 15k KC at Serb, and I want to say I don't understand people who kill Serb, but it's a boss with a mechanic. So
Yeah.
that is something that I think you will certainly enjoy.
Yeah, there's a lot of new content for me still, which
Yeah,
I'm thankful for.
cause you skipped to raids, right? So you kind
Yeah.
of you didn't have like that natural progression.
Yeah,
Um,
I barely did Slayer. I have like, I
let's
think
look this up.
only now I have 90 Slayer on my main, and that a lot of that was from, maybe not a lot of that, the last level was from Zygtaz. I think I
Yeah.
just did Wildy Slayer.
Oh my God, Wildy Slayer. Were you just point boosting?
I
Like
just
just
enjoyed Wildy Slayer. You didn't have to gear up for it. You just,
yeah, went
no
out and click shit.
shoes.
Yup, click shit.
Yeah, just
Pressed
clicks.
click shit, pressed one, and moved on. Yup,
Yep.
yup. I understand. So
So yeah,
yeah, I feel like I've seen a lot of people who have played OSRS for quite a bit of time. They just they're like either playing RS3 or playing different games and things like that because maybe things like account security have unfortunately led their accounts to being hijacked. Like someone who I think of is like Shadow. I don't know if Shadow is. Um,
Shadow Roka.
yeah, Shadow Roka. Yeah, he streamed a lot of RuneScape, but his account got hijacked, and I think the only way for him to play was on like Steam client. He's like, nah, it's just super shit. I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
And but yeah, so no plans to stream anything outside of Escape just.
No, I thought about it before. I was like, it would be cool to be a variety streamer and all
Right.
that, but I like streaming RuneScape. I like streaming OSRS because there's nothing like streaming OSRS. It's just a bunch of people watching you and you're all suffering together. Like
Yep.
seriously, there's like no
Yep.
better understanding in a game. It's not fast paced. There's not a lot happening most of the time.
But yeah, like I mean, I understand. Like, right, we all played this game because and I think
Mhm.
that for people who are burnt, this is a game that they can continue to play, right?
Mhm.
I guess for people that are burnt, this is a game that they will just either A, come back to eventually, or B, continue to play now,
Yeah.
and figure out something else to convince them to keep playing. But for those who are not burnt, I think there's still so much to do. There's still so much to explore, which is again why I love watching the newer streamers,
Yeah.
people with like people who are just newly just starting
With a
out.
fresh mindset to the game. It's
Yeah, it's
hard.
refreshing.
Yeah, it's hard. I understand why people are not happy with the game right now. People have been playing for a long time. But it is hard on newer players hearing people complain so much. Not to say that it isn't justified,
right,
But it's kind of difficult. It kind of ruins the enjoyment of the game for new
right,
people.
right. Yeah, and I think it's tough because I'm here, like the people that I talk to, right? The people
Yeah.
that I interact with daily. These are not people that are new, right? These are people
Yeah,
that are like I guess seasoned veterans.
yeah, and it's
Um,
kind of contagious too. It's
yeah,
like, oh, maybe I do want more. Maybe I'm burnt too.
yeah, yeah, and like that, it's kind of like a pack mentality sometimes,
Mhm.
too. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I hope that Raids 3 comes out soon. It's already the middle of the year. I've started different kinds of accounts, right? I'm like working on this
Yeah.
hardcore on the side just to maybe try out like that MSB cape that you were talking about. I think that'd be fun, but it's just like another challenge, and like the more I think about it, the more I'm like, damn, like I'm really that burnt, where I
Yeah. But I
don't
think
play my
looking at it
main.
like,
Hmm.
I don't know. It, I try not to look at things as being. I know that I'm biased because I haven't been around, but I try to look at it as not being burnt, but just finding some creative way to enjoy the game again. Because at the
Yeah,
end of the day, it's a game, it's a video game,
exactly.
and we should all enjoy it in some way or another.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, right? Like I went from a main to an iron, and I'm working on this hardcore on the side, and I've gone back and forth between the main and the iron, depending on the goal or the content. But yeah, like you just have to come up with goals for yourself in the meantime, right?
Or even take a
Until
break.
yeah, I mean,
Like play
listen,
another game, because when you come back to it, it feels so nice. You feel more driven to do things. You get
yeah,
that fresh feeling back.
yeah, we were talking about it earlier, but it was like playing a different game. Yeah. But like yeah, like I took off, like I was sending so much Inferno like maybe 2 months ago, maybe not even 2 months ago, like a month ago, and like I've definitely like slowed down now, and it's been great for me in terms of enjoyment because like now I'm only sending one task a day, so it's like I can just reflect, take the time to reflect on what I need to do for the next run, not really
Yeah.
think about it, and then hop over to my Iron Man, recline, fish anglers like I'm doing right now,
What I started doing,
like
I
that.
started not playing RuneScape off stream.
Yeah, I don't really like playing when I'm not streaming. Like I'll literally rather just do AFK shit. And
Yeah, I don't even AFK anymore.
oh come on.
Cause
Well, we
no,
we
cause
know you
I'm
don't
like,
AFK on stream, but
no,
yeah,
no, no. I mean, like, I don't even AFK off stream. I don't, cause I got to the point where I was like, okay, I haven't really sat down and paid full attention to a show, watched a movie,
right,
just sat and
right,
enjoyed my time. So
definitely,
I stopped justifying being like I'm missing out on XP, so I should AFK something while I do
yeah,
this.
yeah,
And that helped me a lot to, because I was a little bit burnt, even though it
right,
seems stupid for people who've been playing longer for someone playing less to be burnt, but it it helped me a lot to distance myself from that mindset, I guess.
yeah. I
Not,
mean,
I mean, it works out for some people though. Some
and
people just really do enjoy
I think a lot of
AFKing.
people, yeah, like a lot of people have found themselves AFKing during quarantine just because, maybe the first year of quarantine, maybe I call it like
Mhm.
the first. This has probably been like what the first 13 months at least for me.
Yeah.
It being in quarantine or 14 months, but maybe the first year definitely it was hard for people
Yeah.
to sort of go out and do anything or feel safe. Like I was definitely someone who was very adamant about being smart about,
Mhm.
but then soon I found myself. Then I just found myself just finding an excuse to like just play RuneScape, and it'd be like, oh, there's quarantine. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna go do something that I know I should be doing. But in the last few months recently, it's been good because like I'm lucky enough to have the vaccine shots and things like that, and it's just like wow, like I can I can actually go and do stuff, and like part of the inspiration for like playing the game less is being able to do interviews like this, and
Mhm.
that's something that's like a cool hobby that I want to continue to
Yeah.
develop for lack of a better word. Um, but yeah, no, I definitely agree with you there. Um, all right, I'm gonna move on to maybe the last little section, a little like a rapid fire section.
Oh Lord.
It's not really rapid fire. It's just like a few questions here and there. Okay, so what's your favorite meal?
My favorite meal?
Yes, here I'll just you respond. You tell me, and I will also share my answers. So that way, it's not like a one sided thing.
No, it's not that. I like food. I really really like food, so it's hard to
Same.
choose.
What's like your okay? Imagine it's like a super rainy day, right?
Okay.
And I don't know if you like rain or not. That could change your answer. But it's super.
Storms are stirring outside.
Storm is stirring. You hear the thunder rumbling in the distance, right? And and you have like an option to get whatever food you want. What you go for?
Potato soup.
Okay. Ooh, I have not had potato soup in a.
Anytime I
It's
went to a restaurant growing up,
actually,
it
yeah.
would be the one thing I would order so I could test it out from every place.
Well, okay. Where's the best place you've had it from that you remember?
Cheddar's.
Where?
Cheddar's?
Oh, Cheddar's. Oh my God, we used to have a Cheddar's in our hometown. I have no idea if
Oh,
it's
they
still
used to have
there.
a. I don't know if it's still here either, but they had a Monte Cristo. Oh my gosh, that
Oh my God.
sandwich.
Yeah, that sounds delicious. Shit. Yeah, I don't know. I'm like I have an Indian background,
Hmm.
so definitely my favorite food is just pretty much anything Indian. My sister cooks amazing food. It's honestly just awesome. But yeah. All right, what is your favorite movie? Potato soup. I like that answer. What is your favorite movie?
My favorite movie.
Or like top, let's go like top three.
I guess just off the top of my head, I really have a soft spot. This is gonna sound weird. I have a soft spot for the Saw
No.
movies.
Oh my God. Listen, I don't know if that's a soft spot, but
No, it's a
those
soft
were.
spot. Growing
Is
up,
it okay?
I didn't really grow up with like a lot of Disney movies because I have an older brother and they went through the
Yeah.
kids movies with him.
Yeah, of course.
My dad really had a thing for horror movies, so by the time I was like 4, I was already watching like
Yeah, of course.
Resident Evil and
Right?
all that stuff.
That's awesome. I was like so scared. Like I hated horror. It's like I despised them.
Oh,
But
I
like
hated them too.
now it's like it's kind of dope. And then like the thrillers, like I enjoy the thrillers like a lot now, and like
Mhm.
things like that, like things that I probably like. I don't really like action movies that much anymore, which is like what I exclusively liked. But yeah,
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 I don't know. I think I kind of grew out of action movies
yep, 100%.
because it's kind of repetitive. I don't know.
It is right. There's like okay, boom, challenge, right? Life's going great. Challenge gets inserted, right? You resolve
Old
challenge, boom.
scientists they
Like
find.
yeah,
I
like bro, come on.
Maybe it's not action movies, and maybe it's just the way that movies are now. Because there
Mhm.
aren't very many original ideas anymore. Like
Yeah,
everything's
they.
just like a repeat of the same series or a remake or same
I
idea in a
I
different
th-
setting.
I like I saw someone tweet this and it got me thinking. It was like a lot of actors or actresses or people in Hollywood are like they're afraid of getting canceled,
Yeah.
and which is why every movie feels like it's the same. It's like that's so true because I feel like the early 2000s, like the 90s, were really there's
Mhm.
a lot of different shit going on, and now it's kind of stale. It's just like the same
It
movie
is. It's
over again.
very stale.
I love Dwayne Johnson, but
Mhm.
like his movies are all the same. You know, like he just mass produces movies, and I'm all for that, right? I'm all for him doing whatever movie he wants, but
Yeah.
I think a lot of his movies have similar plotline. He plays a similar
It's
role.
all
He's
kind
just
of
like
flatlined a little bit,
yeah.
or not even a little bit, a lot.
Like I remember one of my favorite movies is Inception. That
Mhm.
movie is incredible because like that and like Avatar were like two movies which I was like, God, like my mind is actually getting fucked right now. Like I don't know what's going on.
Same with
And
what's the other Leo movie where he's on the island?
oh, Shutter Island.
Shutter Island.
Yeah,
Yes,
that
that
was
movie is so good.
fantastic. Yeah, I don't know why I knew that so quick, but
And have you watched the Magician? Is that what it's called? With
uh,
Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman.
is that a show?
It's a movie.
Ooh, I have not. Oh, it's from 2000.
You need to, yeah. Anyone listening to this, you need to watch that. That's a wonderful movie.
It just sound.
That's a mindfuck.
Yeah, they like those movies are the ones that come to mind. It's like, oh, these are good movies.
Mhm.
I think my favorite one though, gonna sound very interesting. It's School of Rock with Jack Black.
I haven't watched that in a long time.
It was like one of the first movies that I watched when I was in like middle school or some shit, and yeah, it was definitely big.
Law Abiding Citizen is a good movie.
Yo, that was so good. I
Yeah,
didn't
that's
think
a
it was gonna
very
be
good
that good
movie.
until I was like 30 minutes in, and I was like, what the fuck is going?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crack. That's awesome. Some good movies. Um, I think another one. Wait, did you ever like? Are you like a Harry Potter nerd? Or like Lord of the Rings, Star Wars?
Uh, I recently watched all the Star Wars for the first time with Jordan.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
enjoyed that a lot, but I was never. I think I kind of got irritated with the Harry Potter fans. I'm
yeah.
sorry, Harry Potter fans, because
That's
it was
fair.
like in high school, it was like, oh my god, what house are you? And it's
Yeah.
like,
Oh my god.
ah.
Like, listen, I'll have you know, I took the test and I got Slytherin like 6 times, and I answered like somewhat differently every time. I still got it. Like, what the hell? Yeah, that's funny.
Fan of the
Um,
movies, fan of,
well,
but
yeah. Did you ever watch like fuck, escaping me? Oh man, I remember like I think it was like Gladiator, like the one with
Gladiator.
Russell Crowe. It was like it was came out in like early 2000. I want to say like 2000. That movie was like the first movie that I realized was like absolute. I was
I
like,
don't think I've ever.
shit.
No, wait, I've seen that, but I don't remember it.
You
So
should,
I need to watch that again.
yeah, you should 100% watch that. It's absolutely beautiful. What is your favorite activity outside of old skate?
I recently started getting into making music.
Okay, kind of music.
Yeah. I'm working on a hardstyle song right now.
Yo, let's go. How is like how is that experience been? Like I would imagine, it's obviously challenging, but
It's nice applying. This is gonna sound very, very sad, I think. It's nice applying the effort I put into RuneScape
yeah.
into something else because I mean honestly, RuneScape teaches a lot of life lessons or life skills. You decide to do something and you work toward it.
Yeah.
So I've enjoyed it. Like, we used to have growing up, we had a family band actually. I don't know how many people know
No
about that.
way.
Yeah, I played bluegrass.
That's so cool. Man.
Yeah, I played the dobro from when I was 6 until I was like or maybe 5 until I was 13 or something.
Hmm. Yeah. That's
But
nuts.
and then I
Actually
like to
so cool.
draw.
No way. I've tried to keep drawing. Uh, uh,
Well, it's hard when we ruin our hands with RuneScape, I'm not gonna lie.
trust me.
I'm like
Yeah, right. The last thing I want to do is click on something else. Yeah.
yeah, you're like,
Or
oh
move
man,
my wrist.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't. What do you draw? Just like anything in particular, or
I can only draw portraits. I can only copy a picture of someone,
damn,
which is it's a weird thing,
that's awesome.
but
I can't do that. I remember in like it was like 6th grade or some shit. We did like a self portrait, and I looked at it, and I just like laughed because I was like, "This is so fucking bad." Um, yeah, right on. Um, are you are you a coffee person? Tea person?
I'm a coffee person for the most part. I go through phases.
What's your favorite coffee? Do you just don't tell me you drink like Folgers, like straight up. You have like a specific.
I used to drink Folgers straight up.
Oh my god, no! You
Yeah,
got to
I
get
used to
like
drink.
some too many good options.
We every Christmas we get a care package from Hawaii,
Oh,
and
some
and we get Hawaiian like actual good coffee.
That
It's like
sounds
Lion's Head, I think, brand.
okay.
I
Okay.
don't know.
I wouldn't know. I just get some shit from Starbucks and on. But
Oh, you're a Starbucks person?
yo, relax. Okay, so in college I worked at Starbucks for like a year or two, a little
Mhm.
over a year. That was a fun experience, but yeah, I get it like on occasion. I don't really drink coffee that much though. Like outside of that, I
Mhm.
do enjoy tea. I think like there's like a coconut flavored tea that I have, and it's just it's
Yeah, for
wonderful.
my I'm gonna expose them, but for my was it for my birthday or is it for Christmas? Don't yell at me that I don't remember that, Jordan. But Jordan got
Time
me
flies by.
yeah, I don't even know time right now. I know it's a gift,
Yep.
but he got me a traveling tea cup
Oh, okay.
and a bunch of different tea. It's from the one brand. Tazo?
Yeah, yeah,
No.
Tazo. Yeah, I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about. Yep.
Yeah, there was this orange flavored one. It was so good. It was like wild orange or something like that.
Oh
That
my
was a
god,
very good tea.
wild orange. That sounds
Yeah.
wild. Um, yeah. Shit. What's like your? I know we talked about food. What's your favorite like snack to munch on?
Knack. Really like Slim Jims and beef jerky, but
Yeah, that's respectable. That's like
um
actually really respectable. Yeah, I'm a big fan
yeah,
too.
Tabasco Slim Jims and not Jack Link's beef jerky. Sorry, Jack Links, but I absolutely hate your beef jerky. It's so moist. I'm sorry if you don't like that word, people, but
Honestly,
it
I found
is.
that word
It's
to
like
be honestly repulsive.
I don't
Annoying.
understand. Okay, I don't know. I'm going off on a tangent, but we're
Yeah,
I I don't know how to describe food as without using the word moist a lot of the times.
interesting.
So I don't know why
Well,
people don't
we'll
like the
we'll we'll have
word.
to bring you back on another episode to talk about
Yeah.
the word moist, no doubt. I like a quick bowl of Cheerios. Big fan of Cheerios. Shit slaps.
Cheers are
Uh,
good.
Cheerios are just honey nut Cheerios slap.
So are honey bunches with oats.
Oh my god, yes.
Those
Hello,
things
the
are
one with
so good.
the almond flakes.
Yes.
Oh my god, so good. Big fan. Big fan. Well, Alyssa, wanted to thank you for your time. And definitely had some great discussions today about your career in Escape and some of the speedrun attempts that you've done in the Inferno, challenging accomplishment that you have. You've completed Solo Top and Pillar Inferno, and I certainly hope to see you back in the speedrunning side of things in the Inferno. But I know you're kind of gridlocked
Yeah.
on the hardcore. But
They started making jokes about this as my Inferno locked main account.
I mean, it's looking like it. But you know, obviously you're incredibly talented, and thank you for taking the time to uh, talk to me today on this fresh
I have no
Wednesday
idea.
morning. Yes, and I will catch everyone else on the next episode of Piping with Jimbo. Peace and love.